That's fantastic. So let's come back to the kind of the big secret from big business, right? You were working in the corporate world. You had big budgets, big opportunities, lots of time to see and test different things. But again, many small business owners, consulting firm owners, even solo independent consultants, look at what big businesses are doing and sometimes just dismiss it because they believe it's not going to be relevant for what they're doing. Other times I see people trying to emulate what big business is doing, but it's just so off target because they're trying to accomplish something that is not going to necessarily work for their business. When you again kind of think about all the best practices and lessons that you've learned, even strategies from P&G and from working with some very large clients over the years now, what are you seeing, or what do you kind of take from that that you think is applicable to the consultant who's listening to this right now, who either is an independent consultant or maybe a small firm owner? What kind of, and I think specifically or maybe especially around this idea of brand building, like you talk about brand equity and about how to actually go about building a brand, but anything from that marketing or branding perspective that you think is a big opportunity, or something that you think maybe many small business owners don't really use or implement very well, and that could be an opportunity for them.
Yeah, I think these are related, but I think there's a couple things. One is really understanding your target audience. Whether you're a billion-dollar brand or whether you are a solopreneur, that is extremely critical. And really intimately understanding their needs, their desires, their unmet needs, who the competition is in your target audience's mind, is really important inputs. And so I think oftentimes what I see is sometimes people get really excited by the latest digital tool or the latest sponsorship, and they might be missing what's really relevant for their target audience. And so that's a skill that we used in big business that I think is applicable no matter the size of your company. And that really leads to the second thing, which is when you understand your consumer, you develop a strategy or choices to win with them. And oftentimes what I see in smaller companies is they think they've got to be all things to all people, or they have to do everything. And the fact is, in a smaller company, you have less resources, so you have to be even more choiceful. You actually have to do the opposite.
Right.
But in order to inform those priorities or choices, you have to understand your target audience. And that target audience understanding is what helps really shine a light on what are the most critical areas you should invest in, or what type of communication you should have for your business. So they're related to me. But I think those tenets are true no matter if you're a one person show, a one woman show like I am, or whether you are a billion-dollar business, is understanding your target audience and using that insight to set priorities or choices
Yeah.
for your investments.
Love it. I mean, that's very, very powerful because, we continue to see, this idea and application of the 80-20 kind of principle, right? It's all about focus. And you're so correct that when you're a smaller business, right? If it's one person or 5 people or 10, 15, employees, you're still a very small business. And so you don't have a lot of resources. And probably your most valuable kind of asset that you have the least of is time. And so, really getting clear on where do you dedicate that time. And if you try and spread yourself or spread your different offerings or to different types of clients, it only means you can give a certain smaller percentage into any one market or any one idea. And there's a lot more complexity to serve all these different people or different offerings. And all that just takes away, your ability to really make an impact. So I think those are great points. Now, I